How do I find the best real estate agent in my area? Great question. Choosing the wrong real estate agent can cost you tens of thousands of dollars, get you tied up into contracts of many months and full of wasted time. Choosing the right agent can make the entire selling process very smooth, very profitable, and stress-free. So in this video, we're gonna break down exactly what to do and how to find the best real estate agent in the neighborhood. We'll be covering the key traits of a great agent, 5 critical interview questions to ask, common mistakes to avoid, and a bonus tip that most buyers and sellers overlook. And by the end of this video, you'll be able to interview, evaluate, and pick the best real estate agent for you. In full disclosure, of course, you know I'm a real estate agent. I'm making this video based on things that I've seen in our industry. Agents that have done not so well for their clients, that have charged them too much, or just done some pretty bad things. So I just want to make sure this doesn't happen to you, whether you choose to work with me or someone else. Just don't make these mistakes. So what makes a great agent? I think one of the most important things is local market knowledge. They're going to know pricing trends, days on market, schools stuff, future developments, things like that. But even more, they're going to know the majority of the people in the neighborhood, or at least a lot of them, and they'll be able to know things that you can't Google and find out. For example, if you are someone that's looking to sell your home and you have a local agent over, that local agent should know what your home is worth without having to look at comps, without having to look at comparable sales, because they should already know the market inside and out, where they can walk into your house and at least give you a ballpark figure of what you're looking at. Next, your agent has to have experience with both buyers and sellers. This can't be their first rodeo. They have to know the psychology between each side. Understanding the buyers in that marketplace is really important. You have to know what turns them on, what turns them off, what they're looking for, what's important to most buyers in that community. Take your property and know what the target buyer would be for that property that's going to pay the most money for your home. And of course, you have to have experience with the sellers. They have to know how to present the property. They have to know what to do to make the property and turn it into its best form, bring it to life, staging, cleaning, have all the tools, all the resources within that community to know how to present it to the right buyer. Next is you gotta have skills in negotiation. You have to actually have a strategy. So ask your agent what their strategy would be to generate you the highest price. And deals hinge on more than just prices. For example, there's psychology behind a buyer. Buyers buy with this, not this. So, for example, is it best to give each individual buyer their time to see your property, or would it be better to put all those buyers in the house at the same time? And what I mean by that is there's psychology behind an offer. So if that buyer is in your house by themselves, then they automatically think, I love the home, what kind of deal can I get on it? If they're in your same house with other buyers that are interested, the psychology changes to, I love the home, what's it gonna take to get it? And lastly with this, look for calm, confident communication, not arrogance from your agent. And quick tip, how they speak to you is typically how they speak to everyone. Keep that in mind. Next, you gotta make sure that whoever agent you pick knows how to handle legal and ethical issues. And what I mean by this is most agents these days, or most busy agents, don't broker their own files anymore. Back in the day, that's not the way it is. But today, that is the way it is. So make sure that whoever's brokering your files, the broker of record, is experienced. Now, why is that? So just in case you were to get in some sort of legal issue, the broker is gonna jump in and fix these problems for you. So you gotta make sure that the broker of record is experienced, and would be great if they're an attorney as well. They don't have to be, but at least know who you're working with if things don't go your way, and make sure you know who has your back behind the scenes. Okay, so let's dive into the 5 critical questions to ask. First off, always find out, are you a full-time agent or are you a part-time agent? Of the 30,000+ licensed agents here in San Diego County alone, the large majority of those people sell less than 5 homes a year, and which means they're probably part-time agents. Now, nothing against part-time agents, but what we've experienced in the past is they have less experience, boots on the ground, to know exactly what's happening in the market today. Now, anybody can look at the market data that gets put out to the public. That information is old. Someone that's active, full-time, boots on the ground, working every day, has a pulse on the market that the market data isn't going to show, for a couple months from now. So that's very important. Another question, why should I hire you? I would always recommend interviewing 2 to 3 agents, no more than that, because then it can get kind of confusing. But it is important to interview more than one typically to make sure that you understand what is normal and what is not. For example, I just dealt with one not too long ago that was charging a client an $11,000 transaction coordinator fee. What is this fee for? Really nothing. A transaction coordinator in a transaction usually charges around $600 or so to run the paperwork of the transaction. This particular agent had this client agree to an $11,000 fee, which is basically extra commission, not normal. And the client would have found that out if they would have interviewed a couple more agents and said, wait a minute, why is nobody else charging me this? A great agent is going to take the time to come up with a tailored strategy for your particular property to attract the right buyer, the target buyer that would be the best fit for your home. Pay attention to passion and sincerity. Also, when hiring an agent, make sure that you feel and know that that relationship, you guys are on the same team. It's not the agent versus you. You guys are on the same team. So an agent that's being honest with you is very important, and you being honest with the agent is very important, because you have the same goal. And if you don't feel like you have the same goal, or you can't share everything with your agent, probably shouldn't pick them. Also, ask your agent how they handle multiple offer situations. So there's many ways to handle multiple offer situations, and not all of them are the same. But typically what we see agents do is gather the offers and submit what's called a multiple counteroffer, so that everybody would get the same counteroffer. And all it says is, please submit your highest and best offer. That means highest and best terms as well. Once all of the buyers come back with their highest and best, obviously we made them negotiate with themselves first, then we can step in and see where we go from there, which can go many different avenues. And what you want to avoid is having an agent say, well, let's just take the highest offer. We have 7 offers, let's just take the highest one. The reason why you want to avoid that is because you never know what someone is willing to pay. For example, we had one a few years ago that had multiple offers. The absolute lowest offer ended up raising their offer a significant amount and paying well above what our original highest offer was. So, you never know. You always have to put it out there with a counteroffer for highest to best, or some sort of strategy to see who actually wants it the most. Next one is, what is the agent's plan if the house doesn't sell or isn't selling? So a lot of people think that it's days on market that determine why your home is not selling. In fact, that's not true. It's number of showings. For example, if you put your house up for sale and 2 weeks go by and you didn't get one call, there's something wrong. Now, if 2 weeks go by and you get 14 showings and the majority of them have the same feedback, well, now you know what to do. So waiting is not a good strategy. Your agent has to have a strategy, and you can talk about this up front. Quick tip, bottom line, just wait longer is not a strategy. Bonus question, are you a solo agent, or are you part of a team, or are you the rainmaker of the team? Neither one of them is bad. A solo agent, not bad. Team member, not bad. Rainmaker, not bad. It's just, you need to have the right expectation of who you're going to be working with and when. A solo agent is basically going to be your point of contact from the very beginning to the very end. They're going to wear all of the hats in the transaction, which is totally fine. Solo agents usually do less transactions, so they have less experience. Totally fine as well. Now, with a team member, there's going to be multiple people involved at different stages of the sale. So you will have most likely one point of contact, which could be your agent, but you're going to be communicating with assistants, transaction coordinators, team managers, possibly buyer's agents on the team that want to show the property. There's going to be multiple people involved, and if you're okay with having multiple people involved, which I think is a good thing, the good thing about teams is they have a lot more experience and they have a lot more larger pulse on the market. A few more common mistakes to avoid. Avoid hiring, number one, avoid hiring a yes person. Yes agents are people who will basically tell you anything you want to hear just to get a listing and hope and pray that it sells. For example, they'll overprice a home just to win the listing and hope to get you lower later. And honestly, it's very much like a bait and switch. They're going to tell you what you want to hear just so they get what they want, and then try to work you down later, and not being upfront with their strategy. Bait and switch, not good. Another common mistake that we see all the time is hiring someone you know or someone your friend or family member just because you feel obligated to do that. Now, I'm not saying that person is a good agent or a bad agent. Just be careful and never pick someone or hire someone just because you feel obligated to because you're friends or families. So quick tip, you have a friend or family member that is licensed and you feel obligated to use them. You can use them. Here's a couple ways that you can do that. You can hire the agent that is the local expert, and that family member could partner and work together with them. You can also, if you feel like, well, they need a paycheck, or we've heard this before, you can hire that local expert and offer a referral fee to your family member. So they'll still get paid, but you're still hiring the right person. They still salvage that relationship and still generate the best results. So another mistake that we see a lot of homeowners make is hiring strictly based on commission. The cheapest agent may not always be the best agent. And this kind of goes back to strategy. With a strategy comes expenses, comes time, effort, energy. And someone that's the cheapest, that is their way of getting business. It's not a strategy that helps you. Think about this. If the only way an agent can get business is by giving away their own money, do you think that they're gonna fight for yours? Now, I'm not saying hire the most expensive one, because again, like I said earlier, there's a lot of agents out there that are gonna charge you way too much and still do very little. It's all about the strategy behind it. What is the plan to get you the highest price? Pick that agent. Picking an agent is all about relationship. You're gonna be, for lack of a better term, married to this person for at least a few months. You guys are gonna be in each other's lives a lot. Be careful who you pick. You would be careful who you marry. Be careful who you pick as an agent. So, final tips as we wrap this up. Interview more than one. Don't just hire your friend. Make sure you interview at least 2 to 3 agents. Focus on strategy, doing it the right way, not just the fast way. All right, thank you for watching this video. As always, if myself or any one of the team members can be of assistance to you, holler. Be careful out there.